The way to the beyond. Reverence to him, the gracious one, the worthy one, the perfect Sambuddha. Introductory verses. From the delightful city of the coastlands to the southern lands went one who wanted to have no possessions, a Brahmin perfect in the Vedas. In the locality of Asaka and near to Mulika, close to the bank of the Godavari, he lived on gleanings and fruit. In the vicinity of the river there was a large village, and with the income that arose from that, he offered a great sacrifice. When that great sacrifice had been given, he entered his hermitage again, and when he had re-entered it, another Brahmin came along. He had sore feet and was thirsty, with dirty teeth and dust on his head. And after approaching the first Brahmin, he begged for 500 coins. After seeing him, Bhavari invited him to take a seat, and he asked after his happiness and welfare, and this is the word that he spoke. Whatever gift I had, all of it has been given away by me. Please excuse me, Brahmin, I do not have 500 coins. If your honour will not give me what I am begging for, then within 7 days may your head split into 7 pieces. Having made a scene, the dishonest man proclaimed this fearful thing. After hearing this word of his, Bhavari became miserable. Going without food, he dried up and was affected by the dart of grief. And when his heart was like that, his mind did not delight in meditation. Having seen him terrified and miserable, a god who desired his welfare approached Bhavari, and this is the word that he spoke. He does not know the head. He is a dishonest man who wants wealth. He does not have knowledge about the head or about head splitting. But now your honour knows. Please explain this to me when asked. The head and head splitting. May we hear that word of yours. I also do not know about this. I do not have this knowledge here. The head and head splitting, indeed only victors see this. Then who knows about the head and head splitting on the face of the earth? O God, please explain this to me. From out of the city of Kapilavatthu, a world leader has renounced. He is of King Okaka's line, a Sakya's son, a light maker. He is a Sambuddha Brahmin. In everything he is perfect, having attained all deep knowledges and strengths, endowed with vision regarding all things, he has come to the end of all actions. In the end of all clinging, he is freed. He is the Buddha in the world, the gracious one, the visionary who teaches the teaching. After going there, you can ask him about it. He will explain it to you. Having heard the word Sambuddha, Bhavari became elated. Then his grief became but little, and he received great happiness. Bhavari, uplifted and elated, enthusiastically asked that god, in which village or again in which town, in which country is the Lord of the world? Where, having gone to, can we revere the Sambuddha, the supreme human being? The victor is in the coastland city Savatthi. He has much wisdom, excellent and great intelligence. That Sakya's son who is free from burden and pollutant, that bull of a man has understanding of head splitting. So then the Brahmin addressed his students who were perfect in the Vedas. Come, young men, and I shall explain. Please listen to this word of mine. He whose manifestation in the world is always rare, has now arisen in the world, renowned as one called a Sambuddha. Having gone quickly to Savatthi, you can see the supreme human being. Having seen him, how will we know that he is the Buddha, O Brahmin? Please tell us who do not know how we can know it is him. There has come down to us in the Vedas the marks of a great man. They are explained as 32, complete in regular order. For whoever has on his limbs the marks of a great man, there can be just two destinies. for a third cannot be found. If he lives in a house, when he has been victorious over this earth, without a stick or a sword, he will rule according to the teaching. But if he goes forth from the house to the homeless life, he becomes a cover remover, a Sambuddha, a worthy one unexcelled. About my birth, family and marks, teaching, students and other things, about the head and head splitting, you must ask these things in your mind. If he should be a Buddha, one who sees without obstruction, the questions that are asked in your mind, he will answer by way of speech. After hearing Bhavari's words, the 16 Brahmin students, Ajita, Tisamettaya, Punyaka, also Metagu, Dotaka and Upasiva, Nanda and also Hemaka, the 2 Todeya and Kappa, and Jatukani, the one who is wise, Bhadravada and Udaya, and also the Brahmin Posala, Moga Raja, the intelligent one, and the great seer Pingya, each with his own group, renowned throughout the whole world, meditators delighting in meditation, wise ones influenced by their predispositions. After worshipping Bhavari and circumambulating him, they all, wearing matted hair and deerskins, set out for the north. To Patitana of Mulika first, then on to Mahisati, to Ujjaini and Gonada, to Vedasa and to the place called Vanasa, to Kosambi and Sarketa, and Savatthi, the city supreme, to Setabhya and Kapilawatu, and to the city of Kusinara, to Pava, the bogus fortified town, to Vaisali, to the Magadhan city, and to the Pārāyanavaggo shrine. Delightful it is the mind's delight. Just like a thirsty man to cool water, or like a trader to great gain, like one scorched by the heat to shade, quickly they climbed up the mountain. Now at that time the gracious one was in front of the community of monks, teaching the Dhamma to the monks, roaring like a lion in the forest. Ajita saw the Sambuddha, brilliant like the 100-rayed sun, like the moon which has reached fullness on the 15th day of the month, and after seeing on his limbs the characteristics in their fullness, standing cheerfully on one side, he asked a question in his mind. Speak and point out his birth, speak of his family and marks, speak of his perfection in the Vedas. How many does the Brahmin school? 120 years his age, his family is named as Bhavari, 3 marks are on his limbs, he is perfect in the 3 Vedas. In the marks and the traditions with the glossaries and the ritual he schools 500. In his own teaching he is perfect. Your investigation of Bhavari's marks, one supreme among men, O craving cutter, make that clear, so that we are not left doubting. He can cover his face with his tongue, there is hair between his eyebrows, what is covered by a cloth is ensheathed. No, it is so, young man. Not hearing any question, but having heard the questions answered, all the people were enthusiastic and raised their hands thinking, now who was it, a god or a Brahma, or Indra the Lord Asuja, who asked those questions in the mind? To whom did he make reply? About the head and head splitting, Bhavari asks this question. Please explain that, gracious one. Please remove our doubts, O seer. The Buddha said, no ignorance is called the head, and understanding is the head splitter, joined with confidence, mindfulness, concentration, desire and energy. Then with great enthusiasm, being resolute, the young man, having put his deerskin on one shoulder, fell placing his head at the Buddha's feet. The Honourable Brahmin Bhavari and his students, dear sir, elated in heart and happy in mind, worships your feet, O visionary one. May the Brahmin Bhavari, together with his students, be happy, and may you also be happy. May you live for a long time, young man. All of the doubts that Bhavari or you or anyone else has, having received leave, ask whatever you long to know in your mind. Having received leave from the Sambuddha, sitting with hands raised in reverence, Ajita asked the realized one the first question in that place.